Hello everyone, and welcome back to GTA Online with me, Longclaw Valerian Steel, where we always deliver. Here we are about to launch another scope out mission, and I'm going to share with you my top tips. Number 1, always do your Cayo Perico heist setups in a crew session. This is a no-brainer. Control the people who you're playing with, and that will give you a easy ride. Some of the setups take some time, and the last thing you want is to run into trouble with toxic players. This one, slightly controversial. Use the fast travel feature in your submarine. Now I do this all the time, and I appreciate not everyone has lots of money, but it does make the setup super easy. So if you need to go to the north of the map, take your submarine with you. You need to come back to the south of the map, take your submarine with you. It will make your life so much easier, I promise you. Loads more tips coming. Let's take a look together. Next one, get your secondary targets scoped out, and not all of them make a difference to the way that the heist plays out, and let's be honest, you're not going to use them all, but do pay attention to the secondary targets at the airport. There are 4 lots of targets that can spawn in the hangar, and another 2 that can spawn around the corner behind the pilot sort of cafeteria area. And there are also other areas on the map where you might want to pick up some secondary target scopes, and that would be down by the docks or maybe in the cornfields. And this is just in case your take on the island is not as good as you want it to be, and if you're planning to run the heist a certain way, you may want to figure out a way of getting a route into one of these other locations. There are lots of other things you can scope on the island. Some of them have actually no effect on the way that the heist plays out and won't help you run the heist, but some of them are pretty interesting. Get to learn the guard movements and work out how exactly you're going to pass through certain areas like this roadblock. The best way to do that is look at the way the guards are moving around, and you'll realise there's only a couple of guards that actually affect your ability to get past them. So just take it easy, take your time, stay out of sight, wait and be patient, and you will find that a path will open up for you. There is more than one route, but I usually take this route as it takes me through the cornfields, where I can then look at scoping out another target here. And sometimes if the take on the island is not quite good enough and someone's got a bit of space in their bag, a detour to the cornfield is always advised, because it's easy to get to, it's very close to the compound, and you can see it because it's just behind the signal tower. When it comes to the hack at the signal tower, there are no real cheats to help you with this one. It is not like the other hacks where you could find patterns to unlock it. It's really simply a case of just matching up the numbers at the top and the bottom, and you just need to keep trying until you get it right. Try to get a feel as you're adding up the numbers whether it's going to work out, and usually it doesn't take me that long. And once you're done with the hack, it's time for you to pay attention to your secondary targets. Of course, you get to look at your main target, and whatever that is, take note of that. But count up the amount of gold you have, the art, and pay attention to how much, because it's going to help you plan your heist once you get back to the island. How many people are you going to need to bring back with you? Maybe it's a solo heist you can do. Maybe you want to choose a different vehicle, like the Longfin, because maybe you want to go to the airport to pick up the secondary targets there before you head to the drainage tunnel. Maybe you want to come off the island and go to the cornfield and pick up the secondary targets there. And part of that is also climbing to the top of the tower and being prepared to parachute off. And you're going to either go in the direction of the compound towards the little boat in front of the compound, and that's going to take you to the drainage tunnel entrance, and you'll need to do that if you haven't scoped out that point of interest yet. Or you can take yourself down to the docks, to the warehouses on the right hand side of the docks, and scope out whatever secondary targets are there. But take advantage of the height and use a parachute to get down over the top of all the guards' heads before you head for the airport and home to safety. And of course, by this point, most people should be using the drainage tunnel as the main compound entry point. This will allow you to go under the water and come up in the middle of the compound without being detected by the guards, and there is no better way to enter the compound. So once you've got to the island and you're doing your scope out, you need to come to this point, and probably you just need to go to the boat on the surface, and that should be enough for you to register that point of interest. You don't need to take a photo of it or anything like that, but here it is in case you want to swim down and check it out. And once you've done that, you will never need to come back and scope out that entry point again. And if you haven't done that, make a point of doing that next time you're on the island, and then just head back to the airport. There's pretty much nothing else that you must do as a certainty. There are other things, as I said, that you can find, but most of the stuff won't help you run the heist. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Look out for another video coming very soon.